This is Sarah, and welcome to my crochet channel. Today's video, I'm going to show you how to crochet the Sherbet Stripes blanket. Now, I designed this pattern a few years ago using Red Heart Super Saver. This one, though, is made using I Love This yarn from Hobby Lobby in their neon colors. And how this came about is I had originally made the other one that you saw in the pictures at the beginning of the video. And as I was cleaning out some yarns in my yarn room, I came across all of my neons from I Love This yarn. And so I decided to make another blanket, and I love how it turned out. And so I thought, you know what? I haven't done a video on this blanket yet. So let's do one. Now you can find the written pattern down in the notes underneath this video. All right, let's talk about yarn. The original pattern was done using Red Heart Super Saver. I used 4 colors: Hyacinth, Cranberry, Pool, and Paradise. But I decided, since I had 6 different colors of the neon, I would use 6 different colors. So you can use any colors that you want to. I'm going to be showing you how to do the original pattern and explaining to you about how to change colors. But again, the original pattern was done using 4 colors, and this one is done using 6. You're going to need 48 ounces total to make this pattern, or more if you want to adjust it. And I'll explain to you how to adjust it in a few minutes. So you're going to need a total of 48 ounces of a medium number 4 weight yarn. And I made this all in acrylic, and you can use whatever fibers that you would like. It's even a great stash busting pattern. You can just go through your leftover medium weight number 4 yarns and make a lovely blanket. We're going to be stitching today with our eye hook, 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. You're going to need your needle, your needle for weaving in your ends, and you'll also need your scissors. The blanket measures approximately 36 inches wide and about 56 inches long. And I always say about because everyone stitches differently, some tighter, some looser. We're going to be stitching 111 chains. I'm going to be doing a swatch of 21 chains. Now, if you would like to adjust the size of the pattern, you can find those stitch counts and multiples down in the notes on that link that's in the notes in the video. So you're going to need to chain 111 chains. I'm going to chain 21 because I'm going to be making a swatch. We're going to begin by stitching a double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4. The chain 3 here counts as our first double crochet, and then we stitched another one. And we'll stitch 1 double crochet in each of those stitches across. So we're stitching 1 double crochet in each chain across. We began in the 4th chain from the hook and stitched 1 double crochet in each double crochet across. We're going to chain 3 and turn. Our chain 3 counts as our first stitch, so we'll begin stitching in the 2nd double crochet and stitch 1 double crochet in each double crochet across. 1 double crochet in each double crochet across, and of course you're going to have a whole lot more stitches than me because I'm just doing a swatch. So 1 double crochet in each double crochet across, and remember, your stitch count will remain the same on every row. Alright, we're going to chain 3 and turn and repeat. 1 double crochet in each double crochet across, and remember our chain 3 counts as that first double crochet. Whoops, got a little knot here. There we go. Alrighty, 1 double crochet in each of the double crochets across. So row 3 was the same, 1 double crochet in each double crochet across, and we're going to cut our yarn. Now sometimes if I don't have a lot of repeats where I'm going like lots of rows, I'll carry that yarn, but because we're changing colors every 3 rows and we're using 3 or 4 different colors, we would have long areas where we carried that yarn. And so I'm going to go ahead and cut my yarn. I'm going to join in my next color, and remember to do your chain 3 after the color change, because your chain 3 counts as your first stitch on your next row, and you don't want one color of this teal or whatever color you're using on this row. Alright, I'm going to turn my work. I'm going to lay these across, and I'm going to stitch over them for the first couple stitches. That helps me weave it in later. Alright, so we're going to stitch a double crochet in the next 2 stitches. And I'm stitching over those tails of yarn just for a couple stitches, and then I'm going to lay those to the back, and I can weave those in later. Alright, so we stitched a chain 3 and 2 double crochets. We're going to stitch what's called a front post double crochet. Move those scissors out of the way there. We're still going to be stitching a double crochet, but we're going to be stitching it around this post. So we yarn over, we go around the post of the stitch, and then finish our double crochet. Now we'll double crochet in the next 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, then we'll do a front post double crochet in the next. One double crochet in the next 3. 1, 2, 3, and then front post double crochet in the next. And this is our repeat for row 4. 1 double crochet in the next 3 and a front post double crochet in the next. And we'll repeat this all the way across that row. One double crochet in the next 3, 1 front post double crochet in the next, and repeat all the way across. And once you've done that all the way across, you'll end with 1 double crochet in the last 3. Go ahead and chain 3. And this is what gives the texture to this blanket, are these front post stitches. We've chained 3 and turn. And this is how the back will look. You'll see where those stitches were stitched in the front posts. Alright, now our chain 3 counts is our first double crochet. So we'll double crochet in the next 2 stitches. Now we're going to stitch what's called a back post double crochet. And so what we're going to do is we're going to yarn over, we're going to go around that stitch from the back side of our work, and that is the front post from the front of our work, and we'll stitch that double crochet. All right, so this is what it looks like on the back. If you look on the front, you've stitched your back post in your front post. All right, 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. Then again, you'll stitch your back post stitch, and you're stitching it in the front post from the previous row. And again, you're stitching double crochets. We're just putting them in a different place. And so the repeat is 1 double crochet in the next 3 double crochets, and back post double crochet in the next, which of course is the front post from the previous row. All right, let's do one more. 1 double crochet in the next 3. There's 1, 2, 3, and then back post in that front post from the previous row. All right, let me turn it over. This is the back. Let's look at the front and see we've stitched our back posts in our front post stitches, and that makes that nice little ridge of texture through the blanket. Now you'll repeat this all the way across, and then when you get to those last 3 stitches, you'll just stitch a double crochet in those last 3 stitches. Chain 3 and turn. We chained 3 and turn, and now we're going to repeat what we did here on row 4. 1 double crochet in the next 2, 1, 2, front post double crochet in the next stitch, which is where we did that back post on the other side. 1 double crochet in the next 3, 1, 2, 3, front post double crochet in the next. And so what you're seeing is that we're placing all of our front posts and back posts on the same stitch with 3 double crochets in the middle, or in between, not in the middle. That way this post stitch runs all the way up our blanket. See there from the side? All right, so you're going to repeat 1 double crochet in the next 3, 1, 2, 3, and front post double crochet in the next. You'll repeat that all the way across your row and end with those 1 double crochet in the last 3 stitches. We're not going to chain 3 here because we're going to change to our 3rd color. So now we're going to change to our 3rd color. And of course, you can do as many colors as you want to, and you can change your rows as much as you want to. So again, we'll bring in a next color. We'll chain 3 after the color change. We'll turn. We're going to keep our strings on this side this time, because this is the back of our work, because we know that because this is where we pulled our strings last time. And of course, there aren't any front posts on this side. All right, so We'll go around those strings and stitch a double crochet in the next two. 1, 2. We're going to move those strings out of the way. We're going to stitch our back post. Then we'll stitch 1 double crochet in the next 3. 1, 2, 3. Then we'll stitch our back post in our front post from the previous row. And 1, 2, 3 double crochets. Back post in the front post from the previous row, and 1 double crochet in the next 3. 1, 2, 3. And then our back post. And it's called a back post when you're working on the back side of your work, because you're going, although you're moving to the front, you're stitching it on the back. I know that's hard to understand, but when you're working from the back of the work, that's what it's called. All right, there's our back. Here's our front. Chain 3 and turn. And now we're going to repeat what we did here. Our chain 3 counts as our first. We're going to double crochet in the next 2 and front post around that post. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to repeat row 3, and then we'll repeat row 4 for 3 rows in this color. This one was front post. The next row will be back post, and then we'll do another row of the front posts. So I've done those 3 rows, front post, back post, front post rows. Your front posts and back posts are always on the same stitch with your 3 double crochets in between. And so now what you're going to do is you'll change colors again, whatever color you want to, and you'll repeat these 3 rows, alternating every other row, front post, back post, front post, back post, and you'll have 3 rows together if you want to. And you'll continue this for 21 more times of 3 rows. But if you're choosing to do just 2 rows or 5 rows, you continue this repeat as long as you want your blanket. Every other row, front post, back post, front post, back post, front post, back post, every other row. Okay, and then we're changing colors for this pattern every 3 rows. Okay, just to repeat, you're going to repeat the 3 rows 21 more times. And 3 rows is what the pattern is written for 3 rows of color changes. And then you're alternating front post, back post, front post, back post every other row. And again, the striping is totally up to you. You can do 3 rows, 2 rows, 5 rows, 6 rows, however many, or just use a striping yarn and you don't have to change colors at all. And so you can see this one I did changing colors every 2 rows because I had lots of colors. But when I got to the end, I started to run out of some of the colors. So I just randomly changed colors. Here I have just 1 row in this green, but the purple I have 3. And so you can change your rows, your stripes, as often as you want. Like I said, this is a great pattern just to use up your leftover yarns and make a beautiful striped blanket. I just wanted to bring this back out so that you can see we're alternating every other row with front post, back post, front post, back post, and the striping effect is up to you. Once you have completed your rows of your fronts and back posts, striping as you go, the last thing we're going to do on the blanket besides the trim is just add 3 rows of regular double crochet. So I'm bringing in another color. Again, I'm going to chain 3 after my color change. And this is the front because this is where my front posts are and my strings are in the back. And what we're going to do is just stitch 1 row of double crochet across. No front posts or back posts, just 1 row of double crochets working across our blanket. And then we'll chain 3, turn, stitch another row, and then repeat so that we have 3 rows of just a solid double crochet across the bottom of our blanket like we did at the top. We had these 3 rows of solid double crochet, and that's what we'll do at the end as well. 1 double crochet in each stitch across, chain 3, turn, and repeat 2 more times. I've stitched 3 rows on my swatch, and that's just at the bottom of our blanket, and the last thing we need to do is stitch a double crochet row around the whole thing. Alright, so what we're going to do is turn, and we're going to stitch a double crochet. Now I'm going to chain 1, and then we'll just start stitching double crochets. And when you're stitching down the side where you don't have any stitches, you're going to want to go in the sides of those stitches. Don't go in the hole, go in the side. Try to go through a loop or 2. And you don't have a set amount of stitches. You just want to put them close together, but don't bunch them up, and you want them to look pretty. And so what you'll do is you'll stitch down, around, back up, and then back across here and join to that chain 3. Just a simple row of double crochets all the way around. So here is my blanket again, and I wanted to show you the corners. We're stitching down an even row of double crochets. When you get to the corner, make sure you stitch 3 double crochets in that corner so that it moves smoothly around, and then double crochet all the way around till you get back where you started, and then join and tie off. And then the last thing you'll have to do is weave in all those ends. Use your needle and weave it in nicely, and you'll love the results of your blanket. Like I said, you can do 1 row, 3 rows, 2 rows, however many rows that you want to. It's an alternating pattern of front post and back posts with double crochets in between, and you can make it as long or as wide as you want to. I think it is a really great stash busting pattern, as well as just a beautiful striped pattern.